Okay, so I just did a video the other day that was like spur of the moment. I looked horrible, and it was about cancel culture and why it's a scam, because I believe that cancel culture is a scam. I guess we're just gonna go ahead and jump into the video. Maybe this will make more sense to my last one because it was very scatterbrained. Anyways, let's get on to the video. So cancel culture became a thing a couple years ago as the rise of like Twitter and everything came on, and a lot of people on YouTube started really rising up into mainstream media, and I feel like a lot of people took it to Twitter to call the people out, and so people want to be on the good side of it where they're calling somebody out because they feel like they're putting themselves up on a pedestal because they did good by calling somebody out on their BS and what they did wrong. I feel like that's kind of the extent of where cancel culture ends. Because people point their fingers and they call out, and then what? They say you're canceled and move on to the next thing. Like, there's no consequences taken. And that's where I kind of got the idea of cancel culture is a scam. So overall, I feel like cancel culture has become sort of like this mob mentality of everybody has like their pitchfork and their torches and they're running on Twitter together to like get in this big group to call somebody out and put them down and embarrass them and like tear somebody down. But I don't always think it's for the right reasons, because sometimes people, I feel like, jump on the bandwagon to cancel somebody and they don't even know what is necessarily going on. They know they just saw a couple of things called out and they just want to get on the drama to be able to be mean and call somebody out. Take James Charles, for example, when he got called out by Jeffree Star and everybody jumped on the bandwagon to like put him down and like call him out and try to cancel him and say he did all this like stuff to younger guys. Come out. Wasn't true. Jeffree Star just got his little mob together and everybody ran because there was a chance to call somebody out and embarrass them and be hateful. So people got together and tried to cancel James for no reason. And I'm not saying that I'm necessarily a James Charles fan. I don't really watch him. I've kept up on the drama and I've seen it from the outside of like how that works. And it's always the same thing. Somebody gets called out. Maybe a creator or somebody jumps on the bandwagon. Everybody sees it, jumps on the bandwagon with them, and tries to tear somebody down for a reason that may or may not be true. People don't want to actually do the research and look into it. They're using canceling to like fill a void of like being able to be hateful, I guess. Because I feel like that's what canceling really does. It's people just take the time for like a week to like go after somebody, call them out and put them down and try to like run them off the internet, and then they've moved on to the next thing. But they haven't actually taken the step of, here's what you did wrong, I'm going to call you out. Now let's actually show you the consequences of why this is wrong and here's the repercussions. People don't actually go to the ending step. They just take the first step to call somebody out and then they leave it and they're done. And they move on to the next piece of tea or whatever. So why doesn't cancel culture work? Well, people like to point their fingers, especially if you go on Twitter. It's just a lot of pointing fingers and no consequences. If you look at Trisha Paytas, Trisha has had a lot of controversies, especially with the most recent of the dissociative issue, and I'm not equipped to speak on that because I am not a health professional. That is not my place. She had a controversy and people went hard at her and tried to cancel her and say this is it, this is the last straw, Trisha's over. For 2 weeks or so, people really made it seem like this was it. Trisha's done. We're done with her. She's gone. And then fast forward, she was like posting another podcast on her YouTube yesterday and then posting videos. She came right back. She's been making more videos. And people still go back to watch her. She's not canceled. You see what I mean? It doesn't work. Because she just comes back. And she's not the only creator who does this. There's a lot of creators that do it. Take Jaclyn Hill, for example. I followed her for a long time, and then she had her whole lipstick and vault collection all, her makeup messed up. She'd be canceled and people would go after her, and then she'd come back a couple months later She posts a video, people flock to go watch it and see what's going on because people don't cancel. They just, like, they want to see what she has to say. So people go back to watch her video. She comes back, she says something, has a makeup release, whatever. Something bad goes wrong. She has a controversy. People cancel her again. Give it a few months. People are right back on it. It's just like one of those things where people, they just kind of flock to the car crash to watch and see what happens, even though they know this is probably not a good idea. You know, it's really not worth our time to like get in on this because it's none of our business. But people flock back to the videos to go see what that person has to say, if they can like nitpick and find something else that the person has said to cancel them again and call them out. And it's just a cycle of people wanting to start drama and call others out, but then not actually backing up their statements and showing the person that, hey, there's consequences to what you did. This is what canceling means. YouTube has kind of taken a turn of, instead of canceling, there is a lot of commentators such as SmokeyGlow. Creepshow Art is a great one, where they speak about holding someone accountable rather than canceling, because the word cancel has kind of become just kind of a popular word that doesn't really hold any meaning anymore. So canceling, in my opinion, how many times have I said canceling in this video? Is really getting annoying. Canceling means that there's going to be drama, and drama means people want to watch, just like the car crash we talked about earlier. So people go and flock to the video of whoever it is that has messed up at this moment, and that person gets a lot of views, and they kind of like let it run for a little bit, and then when the views start tapering off, that creator's kind of like settled the dust, and they're like, okay, I've got my views up, I've made that like quick little money grab, and now we'll just like wait it out a little bit till everybody forget, and then they come out with another controversy. And I think, in my opinion, that Trisha specifically knows what she's doing with this, and I think that she does it on purpose, not to harm anybody, but I think that she definitely causes herself to get in controversy on purpose, because she knows that it'll rack up her views and people will keep her relevant, because she's cycling in and out. She's like, has a couple months of like, or at least a couple weeks of really hitting hard on that front page and getting her content pushed out because everybody's talking about her. She goes back into her old like content and kind of like seeps back into her regular personality, where she doesn't really do anything that's like that controversy. She's just doing her mukbangs or whatever, and then she waits for the like everything to die down, and she comes back. So lastly, I want to talk about why this is so problematic, and it really grinds my gears, because people think that they're doing something by canceling, but there's some situations where we really need to take accountability and fully hold the person up to the consequences that they deserve. Gabby Hanna has had many issues these past few months because she had the controversy with Trisha Paytas a while back, and she never spoke out on it. Never said anything, whether it was legal or not. She never, even before it went legal, or I don't even know if it is, if there's any legalities. I know that there was something said about Trisha couldn't talk about it because she was pursuing legal action, but Gabby herself never came out and spoke on, hey, I hear you guys, I understand that I did this wrong, I'm sorry. She never came out to acknowledge that she did something wrong. She just stayed silent and let it pass until people forgot, and she came back, and now look, nobody's talking about it. And people said she was canceled. She was because she had like DM fans on Twitter to talk about others, and she's back. She's doing quite well on YouTube, and she's really not taking any accountability for what she's done. I think that we need to take some other action, especially with the internet becoming so prevalent in today's age, and we're growing up in a time where the internet has more influence on us than everyday interactions, in my opinion. I feel like we need to do something to show people that you can't just say anything on the internet and not have repercussions for it. And I think that's going to be something other than canceling, because canceling is obviously not working. Maybe this made more sense than my last video where it was all over the place and I had like half of my hair up. I don't know. That's my stance. I don't think canceling is a good thing. I think it's negative. I think it's just a way for people to gang up on someone and bully them and then cover it up by saying, we're calling you out and like, we're doing a good thing here. You're not. If you're going to call somebody out, make sure you're ready to back up what that entails and hold somebody accountable and give them the opportunity to learn and grow from it. But people should have repercussions. I've been looking out the window the whole time and just did it again. But on that note, that's my thoughts. I hope you enjoyed. I am gonna go do an at-home workout now, and maybe I'll talk to you later.